In this video, I'm showing you 7 AI tools that make me super productive and much more efficient. These are not random tools that I collected to make a video. These are tools that I'm actually using all the time, and I'll show you exactly how I use them. Let's go. The first one is the Opera browser, and I have a dedicated video if you want to check out all the features it has to offer. But real quick, let me show you a couple of ones that I'm using. The first one is the sidebar, and it's super nice to have access to ChatGPT directly in your browser in case you just want to search or have some more details about something. And the next feature I use all the time is when I go to an article, maybe in a different language, let's say French, for example, and I don't understand anything of what they say, you have the ability to select any part of the text and then to click on either translate or explain briefly. And that's super nice. So when you click on explain briefly, it will use Aria, which is Opera's own flavor of ChatGPT, and it just summarizes the text that you selected for you. And if I do the same thing for translating, let's say translate, it's going to ask me which language I want to translate this. I want to translate it in English, and then it translated automatically for me. So this is super awesome. And in the video I did, there's a bunch of other features that are really worth knowing, and it goes beyond the AI features of Opera browser, so you should check it out. The next application that I'm using all the time is called Quickcast. And what is Quickcast? Quickcast is the ability to have ChatGPT popping up at any time, no matter what you are doing. So let's say I'm writing here a document in Pages, and I want some ideas about what to generate. Pages doesn't have any AI features, but if I do Command E, then this pop-up comes in, and this is Quickcast. It is just a wrapper around ChatGPT that just gives you access to the features. So now I can say, give me 5 ideas about an article on AI. And then I just go, while it's thinking, I can just go back to my document, do whatever. Then I do Command E again, and then it shows up, and I can copy any of those parts into my document. The nice thing about Quickcast is it gives you also the ability using the API key. If you are using the API key, then you are charged by the request, and you can just type your question here in this prompt, or you can use it logging in with your credential in the web interface of ChatGPT. The other thing I like about Quickcast is that you have access to Bard. And now we all know Bard is not up to the task yet, but let's imagine in the future when it becomes better, then it's just nice to know that you also have access to Bard with Quickcast, and you can choose which chat to use. I'm actually gonna do a video where I test 5 different chat apps for ChatGPT, and some of them have a lot of nice features. I don't think Quickcast is the best one in terms of features, but it's the one I prefer. But make sure you check out the video I'm gonna make, because maybe some of them have features that you will be interested in. The other tool that I love using is called Crisp. Crisp uses machine learning to cancel the background noise while you are on a call. So it is super practical when, for example, my neighbor's dog is barking, then I can activate it here. I can just activate the microphone and make sure the call I have is of a certain quality. And check out the video I made on Crisp. I made a specific video where I tested dropping pins, having dogs barking behind me, or children playing next to my window, and to show you how good it is and how it works. Sometimes the noise cancellation removes a little bit of the quality of the voice, but overall, I think it's just a tremendous tool to have. The other tool I want to show you is called a Promptbox. Now, it's not perfect, but it gives you the ability to save your prompts to a place that you can access very easily later on. Promptbox is a bit on the higher hand of the spectrum in terms of price, maybe. I think it's charged $5 a month, but if you take the yearly subscription, it's $3.5, I think. So not too bad. So the way it works is whenever you see a good prompt, you can select the prompt and you can right click on it and click on Save Text to Prompt. And then to access it later on, you click on this little icon in your browser, and you have the list of prompts that you can put in different folders. And for example, I have one for video, image, music, and I click on music, and I have different prompts here, and I can click on the cinematic one. If you've seen my video on music LM, you saw that I was using this. and I can now paste it, and this is the prompt that I saved. So it's super practical to have all your prompts in the same place. I heard some people are using Notion. Let me know in the comments how that works with Notion. Is it easy to use? I've always wondered. So let me know, that would be cool. The other one I want to talk to you about is called My Mind, and I got that from Matt Wolf, the AI guru online. And My Mind is your second brain. So with My Mind, you can save anything you come across, whether on the internet or even on your computer. For example, I'm on this New York Times page, and I can, if I want to, I can save this page if it's of interest to me, and I just click on this little button here on the right top right corner, and then it says it's saved to my mind, and I can even add tags. And so maybe I can say, okay, this is gonna be news. I can add a description, some cool website to get the news, and then it's saved to my mind. So when I go later on to my minds, I have this, the New York Times, or I can search for the tag, maybe news, and it pops up. So I click on this and it says, yeah, that was the tag news. That's my mind note. And I have the link I can click on. But the real cool feature is I can also do that. I can take a screenshot of anything showing up on my computer. For example, a screenshot of this article, and I copy it. Then I go to My Mind and I paste it. And so here it pasted the screenshot I took, and you can see the recording button here. But what it does is it extracts the data that it finds, extracts the text from that image, and it proposes to me some tags that I could add on this image. But what's even better is that now, because it extracted the text, I can search for smoke, and this image pops up. And so that's super cool to find any text that are in screenshots that you took or anything that you come across. The next one is kind of in the same vibe, and I made a dedicated video on it. It's called Text Sniper, and it gives you the ability to extract any text from any images. And so for example, if I'm watching a video online about the evaluation of COVID-19 impact, and I see some cool text that I want to capture in my note, for example, this questions and tasks, I can easily grab that piece of text here, I select it, and then it extracts it, and then I go to my notes, and I type notes, and I can paste it, and it extracted the text from what I was watching. And if you look at it, it's exactly the same structure. The only downside is that it doesn't do the bullet points, and I wish they could improve that and add that as a feature. That would be terrific. But the nice thing is you can also do it for even this image closed due to COVID-19. I can capture this, then I go to my notes and I can paste it, and there you go, you have the text associated to that image. So this is a tool I use every single day, and in my video I show a little more how I use it and how you can extract also IDs from passport when you are booking a flight or something like that. The last one is GitHub CoPilot, and you may have heard of it because this is the hottest thing with ChatGPT right now, and I put it at the end because it's very specific to software engineers, and if you are into writing code, then that might be of interest to you. And the way it works is it's your coding assistant. And so for example, I created this piece of code where I'm simulating a McDonald's drive-through with the ChatGPT application. So I put everything together, but I'm just missing the call to OpenAI API, which is ChatGPT, and I don't know how to write this. So the way I can do this is I can copy, or I can create my function, which I'm gonna call OpenAI API. And then if I enter and I go to the next line, then automatically GitHub Copilot proposes to me the way to implement this exact function, and it uses the OpenAI API. It proposes me to put the API key here, which makes sense, and then does a bunch of different things to call that particular API. And if I'm not too happy with it, I can do Control Enter, and then it generates 10 different solutions for the implementation of this single method. So this one is the one I think it gave me. This one, and note here how interesting it is. It grabbed the context from the file I was on. So it grabbed the fact that I already set the messages I wanted to send the chat, which is you are working on McDonald's drive-through. So it grabbed that context and it reusing the context in the method that it proposes to me as a potential solution. So this is quite impressive. And so now I can choose any of them and I can accept the solution and it does the implementation for me. So this is a really cool tool to have, and all of the developers by the end of the year will be using it. All right, so the bonus I want to talk to you about is Rewind. And you remember when I showed you my mind, what it did was I could add any piece of text, any content, and it would extract the text from it, the data from it, and I could search that particular text anywhere in my second brain. Well, Rewind does that, but it does that automatically for you. So anything you do on your computer, any images you see, any video you watch, any text you write, any conversation you have, it saves it all, and then you have the ability to search for particular keywords. So let's say you are writing a document in Word or Pages and you accidentally delete your document. Then with Rewind, you can search for keywords that were in your document, and Rewind will put you back in time where you were writing your document and gives you the ability to get it back. A lot of people are concerned about privacy because it basically saves everything that you are doing on your computer and it sees everything. So if you are manipulating a lot of confidential data, that might not be a solution for you. But I think it stores all the data on your own disk. It doesn't send it to the cloud. Now the question arises is, well, if you save everything on the disk, it might end up taking a lot of space at the end. So obviously it's not perfect, but I think it's a terrific solution to save a bit of everything that you are doing on your computer and make sure you're not gonna lose any of it. Now, the caveat of this application is that it works only on silicon chip. And this is the reason why I haven't tested it myself. And I'm just showing you here the page, and you can check out down the page. They have a demo of how it works, but I haven't tried it myself because I still have an old-fashioned Intel chip, and so I couldn't test it. There you have it, all the awesome tools that I'm using to be more efficient and more productive. Obviously, I put all the links in the description, as well as the links to my other videos where I go into specific tools and show you all the details of it. All right, so I hope you will pick up at least one or couple of tools that will help you in your daily job or in your daily task to be more effective and more productive. I'll see you in the next one.